They are on pace to go 162-0 this season.
And nobody ever gets tired of those jokes, Kevin. So that's good.
Of course.
Yes.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
And we're the host of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making Locked On Rays your very first listen every day. And remember, Locked On Rays is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube at Locked On Rays. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Rays. And you can also email us, lockedonrays@gmail.com. As you can probably tell right now, I am not 100%. I might have to go on the injured list at some point, but I feel like Cal Ripken. I'm just going to ride through it. I'm going to ride through this viral infection and keep recording episodes to make the bosses happy. That's what we're all about, is making the bosses happy.
I got to tell you, you're that guy, that veteran, that just goes, Coach, it's okay. I put some icy hot. Put me in the lineup. I'm in there. I got it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. That's you right now, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And
you know what? I know that listeners and viewers, because I know people are watching on YouTube, they love it. They can't get enough. They're subscribing like crazy to our YouTube channel. Everybody that's listening and watching, they appreciate that too. They love hearing you and your takes. So thank you for being here.
I might have to blame the Rays for this viral infection, because where I was sitting on Saturday in section 209, the AC was literally blowing. Like, I think I picked like the AC duct area because it felt like I run cold.
Yeah.
But I had goosebumps over the course within a couple innings of going to the ball game.
In what inning did you get in there, by the way? Fourth inning?
I think it was bottom second, top third. I still got hosed for parking. They still got me for the $20. I'm so upset. I arrived at 1:30 thereabouts. They still got me.
They got you,
Dang
man.
it.
Well, Stu listens to the pod. Thank you so much, Stu, for listening to the pod. Stu, are you subscribed? Stu, you should really subscribe to our YouTube channel.
He should.
Yeah.
He should. Well, the Rays, of course, as we alluded to, they start the season 3-0, which we kind of figured would and should happen. It is the freaking Baltimore Orioles at home at Tropicana.
You got to knock it off. What? You got to knock it off. You were saying
they went 18-1 against them last season.
You got to knock it off, because you said, they're going to score 24 runs. And there I am watching a 2-1 ball game on Friday. And
that was John Means.
I told you that was going to be a good pitching matchup. Then the second day, I got the prediction right. It was 5-3.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they have a good offensive 1 through 5, maybe even 1 through 6. The pitching is not that great. We know that, but they're still a major league team, like Brendan Lau said after the Sunday's game.
You forgot to mention that the Rays won 8-0 on Sunday.
Yes, they did.
By the way.
Yeah.
But with that, it is a Monday, which means, and it is a Monday in the regular season. Mm-hmm. So on the Locked On Rays podcast, that means it's time for our what we learned from the weekend. Ulises, what did you learn from the weekend where the Rays, they didn't score 24 runs like I expected them to do over the course of the 3-game series, but they did get a dub, another dub, and a third dub on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, and I think you have to focus, at least in my part, the bullpen. I mean, that bullpen is really, really tasty to see in action. That was phenomenal. Only 2 runs allowed in 14 innings, and we can just go through the docket here. Spring striking out the side on Friday in his return from ACL surgery. Brooks Raley, boom, gets 1 out to gets the save. The lefty does it in good fashion for 1 batter. Fleming with a big 3 1/3 innings on Saturday. He kept the Orioles silent. He got the W. Jason Adam, Jalen Beeks, Matt Whistler, all putting together really good outings as well to close it out on Sunday. And special shout out to Mr. coming back from Tommy John, Jalen Beeks.
Yeah.
Look, the guy has not pitched since 2020. I believe he only pitched 6 or 9 innings in 2020.
It was a very quick hook when he got hurt in that 2020 season.
And so maybe not even 10 double digits innings pitched in 2020, and boom, he comes out and he looked really good. So to have all of these pieces, again, if you're a Rays fan, start naming bullpen names. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's Matt Whistler, Kittredge, Jason Adam. Is Jason Adam the next Lewis Head? Is Jason Adam just the next find that he's just going to work out just because he's with the Rays and they know how to efficiently and productively get the most out of him?
Right.
Yeah, it could be. It could be that Jason Adam is the next big thing.
And that's why part of the reason when Pete Fairbanks went down, I said it's not that big of a deal. Nick Anderson still on the shelf, not that big of a deal. Colin McHugh goes elsewhere in free agency, not that big of a deal. They're going to find other pieces and replacements. And like you mentioned, some of the guys that were injured last year, they're coming back too. We totally, it's not like we're mentioning Jalen Beeks so frequently throughout the offseason. So to see him back is big. Question though for you, you highlight the bullpen, you highlight the relief corps. Which bullpen performance impressed you the most over the course of the weekend?
Dude, I think Fleming. I think
I agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
I think Josh Fleming looked really, really well put together. And I'll say this, and this is my bold and not so bold because I've done the research and I shared it with Locked On Race listeners and viewers last year. If Josh Fleming were an actual starter and not a bulk guy, an actual starter giving 5 to 6 innings every day and getting 25 to 30 starts every year, guess what would happen to Josh Fleming? He would be a Gold Glove winner.
Yes.
He would be I love how Josh Fleming fields his position. He is at a tremendous advantage at how he ends his delivery. And he has that soft contact and ground ball rate that he is one of the guys that is hit the grounders that are going up the middle. He is always going to be able to feel those balls very, very well. Look it up in Savant. It's incredible what you can see, the ground ball rate up the middle. Josh Fleming is one of the guys that has the highest rate of those types of results of balls in play. And he feels that. He has cold blood, Kevin. Is he, by the way, is he an Iowa guy, Idaho guy?
He's Midwest for sure. I think, where's Pete Fairbanks from? Missouri. He's a Missouri guy.
He's a Missouri guy.
Missouri guys. He went to a D3 school in Missouri that nobody's ever heard of.
Exactly. Like that, they make them cold up there. I don't. You think Missouri is colder than Indiana?
It's probably about the same. It's still a terrible place to live. I'll just say that. It's not fun.
Well, I mean, it's very cold, and he can show that he has cold blood because every grounder up the middle, I always see Josh Fleming so ready to, like he did on Saturday. He turned 2.
That was such a nice play. Also, how effective he was with his pitch count, how efficient he was, how quickly he worked. And you mentioned fielding his position. He knows he has to have that ability with as many sinkers down that he's going to throw. That he's going to force balls into the dirt, and he's got to be ready to capitalize on that. So that was very, very impressive. And is it just me, or did it seem like he had a little bit increased velocity from prior years, getting that sinker up 92, 93 at times?
It seems, again, the lefties, the soft contact lefties, I think we're going to see a resurgence in both of them, Josh Fleming and Ryan Yarbrough. I think we're going to see a kind of a pickup of, hey, no, that was a blip. That sucked. We're back. I think that goes for both Josh and Ryan.
Yeah, you got to love it.
Yeah.
BetOnline. It is your number one source for all your betting stats and sports info. You can find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's basketball playoffs and the start, of course, of the Major League Baseball season. BetOnline, it is your continued source for all your sport wagering information, from live betting to playoffs, esports, and more. So head over to the website today, or use that mobile device of yours to learn more about the trends and action. BetOnline, it is where the game starts. Ulises, I guess I really interrupted you. I didn't know if you had another takeaway or big moment from the weekend that you wanted to throw out there.
I do. It has to go with the pitching still. I want because I know you're probably going to focus on the offense as you foreshadowed on the Friday episode for seeing a lot of runs by the Rays. But I said on Friday that if there was one guy that they would push a little bit more on the staff, it would be Kluber. And I saw that. Because if that had been any other pitcher on Sunday, and you're about to finish the 5th, and you have a tough time with Mullins, and now there's a man on first, you would have seen Kevin Cash get out of there.
Right.
Any other pitcher, McClanahan, anybody, Yarbrough, Fleming, you name it, whatever. With Kluber, he remained in the dugout. So that's the kind of leash. Like, yeah, you might be like, dude, it's one batter. Yeah, but those are the leashes that are given out at the Trop and wherever the Rays are playing. It's either the no leash or the half an inch leash. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
If you win two Cy Youngs and you're under Kevin Cash, you're going to get the half an inch leash.
You've won 2 Cy Youngs and finished top 10 2 other times, and you're not a 23 or 24-year-old rookie or second-year player. So you get the benefit of the doubt there, because he did walk 4 in that game, but still was able to get out of it and capitalize. So, well, I guess I have a little follow-up question there. If you're going to focus so much on the pitching between Corey Kluber, Drew Rasmussen, and Shane McClanahan, which starter had the most impressive outing from your perspective?
I think Kluber. They all face the same lineup.
Yeah.
And who kept him at 0? It's got to be the veteran. And again, I really like the veteran in the middle of the rotation.
Yeah, number 3.
I like it.
It's a nice little bridge between 4 and 5, 1 and 2. That's not a bad.
Yeah.
Although I guess maybe when Shane Baz comes back from injury, you put him in the number 2 spot and move Rasmussen to 4. Rasmussen at number 2 seems a little high to me.
Really? Even with the success from last year?
Yes, even with the success from last year. I will say this. I'm glad you shouted out Kluber. And I know that, Shane McClanahan starting off, it wasn't the greatest start, hitting a batter with your first pitch. But as he settled in and settled down, I continue to be amazed by a 98, 99 mile an hour fastball with late tail. And I continue to be impressed by that really sharp curveball. I still think he maybe goes to the well with the slider too much. It seems like whenever a pitch gets hit and gets hard from McClanahan, it's on that slider that he leaves up in the middle of the plate.
Yes. And we talked about that earlier on last week. Man, he needs to stop being so enamored seeing that triple digit on the fastball. And then, like you said, go into the slider all the time. Dude, he used his curveball so much better this time around. And that's when he was getting success. You've got the tools. You've got the changeup. You've got the curveball. You don't have to be a fastball slider guy. You know who has to be a fastball slider guy? Patino.
Yes.
You know who has to be a fastball slider guy? Rasmussen.
The entire bullpen.
You don't have to be that guy, Shane McClanahan. You've got a curveball. You've got a changeup. Use those. You're going to get so much better whiff rates and chase rates if you're keeping those batters, kind of guessing. And so I agree. I think the nerves were definitely a factor for him, but he did settle down after the second inning.
Yeah. Getting to my takeaways from the weekend. One, I think this is sort of low-hanging fruit, but oh my goodness, it is so fun to watch Wander Franco play. It is so fun to watch him. And as you had mentioned previously on previous episodes that the defense would come around, it would turn around. I think we're starting to see that.
That's my man.
We're seeing him make diving plays up the middle, seeing him get the backhand, seeing him go from the shift and making catches in no man's land in left center field. And it turning the double play when a throw to him isn't that great on the turn like that. And not even get into the offense because I am totally convinced just based on what I saw at the end of last year and what I saw in these 3 games that he is not only going to get MVP votes, but I think he could finish top 5, top 6 in the AL MVP. And I think he could very well be a 7-WAR player. And I think he very well could hit over 300. And I think he very well could slug over 500. And I think he very well could be a 2020 player this year.
Hey, one more thing. Say it. One more thing. You missed out one thing.
Finalist?
Gold Glove finalist for Wander Franco. It's happening, people. Book it. Book this thing right now. Wander Franco is going to be a Gold Glove winner. He is going to be. That was silky smooth, baby. Yeah. I mean, look, the guy, if the Rays are giving him 11-year, $182 million contract
on the open market, he would be worth like $600 million.
Well, that's the thing. They wouldn't do that, right? So what makes them do that?
Everything.
He's different. work ethic.
Yes.
They works at his craft, man. And so that to me was impressive to see that growth on the defensive side. And you haven't even touched the offensive part, which is also video game like.
It's like he's playing adult softball. It looks like the game is that easy for him. His hands are so quick. He can hit it wherever he wants. Hit it up the middle. Okay. Hit it the other way. Okay. Pull the ball. Okay. Hit it from both sides. Okay. It is. And I know it is the Orioles, but those are still professional major league pitchers. And I don't see what I saw over the past couple of days from Wander Franco tells me that he is just absolutely picking up where he left off. And what I also like about the complexion of this team thus far, and this ties into Wander Franco and his hustle and energy and enthusiasm. I like the dynamic of this team. I like the athleticism of this team. I like the speed and the wheels of this team. Yeah, it kind of sucks that Austin Meadows isn't on the team anymore. It kind of sucks that Nelson Cruz isn't on the team anymore. But you see how many of these guys can beat out infield singles.
That's
you
amazing.
See how many of these guys have the capability to get a triple. I think that's, I don't want to say it's a market inefficiency, but I think it's something that the Rays are going to be able to use and capitalize to their advantage, where you have so many other pitchers out there in the big leagues that throw such nasty breaking stuff that you're going to hit the top of the baseball and you're going to drag it into the dirt. And can you hustle it out? Can you hustle out that chopper? Hel Ramirez showed he can. Randy Arozarena showed he can. Wander Franco showed he can. I'm sure Josh Lowe can.
Yeah.
I'm sure go down the list can. Like, I think that's what really is going to help this team of, taking the extra bag, using your legs to your advantage. Okay, Wander Franco, he gets a single. He steals second. He moves over on something. And then Mike Zunino, sacrifice fly, you're home. That's your run.
I thank you for pointing that out, because we haven't touched on that point yet. I saw sacrifice flies. I saw moving the runner over.
Yes.
I saw ground outs that became RBI ground outs.
That's big. That's big. That's why having that little bit of extra speed, as opposed to maybe Austin Meadows at third, it's somebody else at third. It's Josh Lowe at third, and he's able to get to home before.
And that's not even. I know what you're saying with Austin Meadows, maybe not so fleet of foot, but take him out of the equation. You didn't see that before. You didn't see that as much. I know it's only been 3 games. I know you can't just judge the 2022 team is different, but from what we've seen in 2022. I like the putting the ball in play. I like the unselfishness of saying, I'm just going to sell the hell out of this swing. No, like a sacrifice fly is going to tally up those numbers, that the traditional numbers that some people hate and some people will love way too much. That's going to help, because you know what? At the end of the day, as long as you have more runs than the other team up there, you're winning.
Yeah.
It's that simple, isn't it, Kevin? To just score more runs. So anytime you can just put the ball in play, there was, I think either on Friday or Sunday, there was a situation where I think it was the Harold Ramirez one, a chopper to the pitcher. He doesn't field it cleanly. And because he hustled, he slides into first base, and then it becomes a big inning. Yeah. Those are huge things. Those are the little things that make you, a competitive ball club that's going to the playoffs and hopes to succeed in it, to a team that might win 63 games.
And I think it's also, you have so many guys on this roster that can put the ball in play. That's where it's so needed and necessary to have that athleticism tied in with that. Like Francisco Mejia is going to put the ball in play. G-Man Choi can put the ball in play. Josh Lowe, we saw can put the ball in play. Manny Margot, of course. Yandy Diaz, of course. Wander Franco, of course. So it's just a lot of action. I love seeing more action as opposed to the 3 true outcomes.
And before I tell you who really surprised me this weekend, I got to tell you about Built Bars, Kevin.
Okay.
I know you're feeling under the weather right now.
Yeah, I need some Built Bars.
But you need something to make you feel good that's not going to make you feel guilty. So what is that? That's Built Bars. So I know Kevin Weiss, after this episode, he's going to go to Built.com, and he's going to compare all those macros to candy bars, and then he's going to see, wait, Built bars are 130 to 180 calories compared to candy bars are 200, 300 calories each. So why am I going to go get that sugar? No, thank you. I'm going to get Built bars. They are healthy and they're delicious too because they're covered in 100% real chocolate. So he's going to go to built.com. He's going to use promo code LOCKED15, as you should too, because it's going to save you 15% off your order at built.com. So choose your most delicious flavors on there. Built.com, promo code LOCKED15, and get yourself some Built bars at built.com. So, you talked about Austin Meadows. Obviously, this guy did not come through trade, but was drafted by the Rays. We all know him. We all are going to probably love him.
Yes.
Josh Lowe's at bats have been fantastic. They have been, I mean, it's very, I'm going to say wonderful, and you can put the A on there if you'd like, if you're a closed caption guy.
But he's no wonder.
He's no wonder, but
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No, he's no wonder, but they've been wonderful.
Yes.
Because 3-2 counts, fouling pitches up, down, left, right. I mean, he right now is feeling really good about himself. And the triple, you saw the speed, you see the hustle. I don't know. I think Josh Lowe is going to quickly become a fan favorite in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, you as a rookie, just getting a couple plate appearances in the bigs, and you can go from an 0-2 count to a 3-2 count. Like he's got. I mean, we've said it that there was nothing else he could do at the minor league level. You had to call him up. You had to crap or get off the pot with Josh Lowe for all intents and purposes. And one last thing before we move on to the series preview with the Athletics. I love, and I don't know if this is going to change throughout the course of the season or what, and I know that the Rays love to mix and match the lineups and everything like that, but I love keeping Wander on a consistent, you're going to bat second and you're going to play short, and we're going to keep it simple. Always bat Wander second. Always put Wander at short for the foreseeable future.
100% agree with you on that. Like, put Wander Franco on at second and at second in the lineup and at shortstop. That's the way to go. And I want them every team. I want them to highlight that second spot in the lineup, saying this is the guy we do not let beat. And I really liked. It's very Raysian, but I really like the way that they developed that opening day lineup, because to have Randy Rosarena back to back with that wasn't that day. They had Harold Ramirez third, and then first. Oh God, I'm blanking. Who was batting first that day? I'm blanking. But anyway, they had Harold Ramirez sandwiched between. Was it Yandy? Yeah, it was Yandy, okay. Maybe. Yeah. So Yandy, Wander, Harold, and then Randy. I love that, because Harold would probably be the lesser bat of all of them. But to put him before Randy and then after Wander, it will just make him see better pitches. I love that idea.
Yeah, the Rays are very clever with their lineup construction for sure. But it makes it so much easier for Kevin Cash and company when you can just say, we're penciling in Wander at 2, and then we fill in the rest of the pieces around that and after that. Because that's really becoming a trend, is you put your best hitter, your most complete hitter, which Wander is on this team. You put him in the number 2 spot. We saw it with Mike Trout, the Angels. We've seen it with other guys as well before. Okay, so the Rays, they have not a 3-game series, but a 4-game series with the Oakland Athletics. So I fully expect the Rays to start 7-0, not 6-0. I look at these pitching matchups.
You're gonna make this season very long if you're gonna keep doing this.
Pete Blackburn versus Luis Patino. Somebody named Adam Oller versus Ryan Yarbrough.
I thought it was Paul Blackburn.
Is it Paul?
I thought so.
The fact that we don't know that. We know the last name is Blackburn.
Yeah, I think it's Paul.
Pete or Paul.
Okay.
Blackburn versus Patino. Never heard of you either way. Pete Blackburn may be a hockey writer. Maybe that's where I'm getting it mixed up.
Yeah, maybe.
Adam Oller, whatever, versus Ryan Yarbrough. Then it becomes a little bit more challenging with Frankie Montas versus Shane McClanahan and Cole Irvin versus TBD, which could be a bullpen day. It could be Drew Rasmussen. But I fully expect the Rays to not necessarily sweep, but I think they should be able to win the series against an Athletics ball club. They're not as bad as the Orioles, but they're Orioles of the AL West.
I want to take the first two for sure. So start the season 5-0 because Paul Blackburn is a guy who has been in the league for a while, but sometimes people forget that you can be in the league for a while and not be known. Like,
yeah, I don't know who Paul Blackburn is.
140.
Oh, it is Paul Blackburn. Yes, you're right.
140 innings pitched and a 5.74 ERA. I know ERA is not everything, but it's.
He's Yucky Yarbs his entire career.
Exactly.
Even worse, actually.
I would expect the Rays to win the first bout on Monday. I would expect them to beat the second one because I think Adam Oller would be making his MLB debut like that Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Adam Oller is a top prospect. I feel like I would have heard of Adam Oller once before.
So then you're 2-0 against them. Then it gets difficult. Frankie Montas, a lot of Rays fans would like him to be wearing Rays colors. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. And then Cole Irvin, the lefty. So actually, the Oakland A's will be throwing 3 righties in a row, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So expect a lot of Josh Lowe. That's good. A lot of Brendan Lau. That's good. He had a big home run. And Wander Franco from the left side. So I don't think I ever mentioned this during the lockout, but following these guys through social media, man, the work that Wander Franco was putting up online, albeit impressive.
Yeah.
It was so many clips from the left side. I think he took that to heart. And in his offseason, he was working from the left-hand side. So let's see how it goes. I think he's batting 580 right now. It's stupid. It's like, you're right. It seemed like this season series was a
adult softball.
Adult softball that
600.
Yeah, exactly.
You throw anything and he'll, okay, you're going to throw me a fastball inside. I'll just put my hands in and drop it. So, yeah. Now, yes, while the Athletics will throw out a couple good starters in the second portion of that series. Have you seen the lineup for the Athletics?
It's not great after Tony Kemp, and Tony Kemp is number 1 on that lineup.
This is the lineup that the Athletics put out on Sunday's game against the Phillies, which they did actually somehow find a way to win.
Is their first win of the 2022?
Yeah, there we go. Started 1-2 on the year.
Yeah.
Tony Kemp.
Okay.
Elvis Andrus.
Okay.
Sean Murphy. Seth Brown. Stephen Piscotty. Billy McKinney, Kevin Smith, Austin Allen, Christian Pache. That is your lineup. No Matt Olson, no Mark Canha, no Matt Chapman, no Sterling Marte, no Ramon Laureano, who's still suspended for 25 more games, no Josh Harrison on the pitching side, no Chris Bassett, no Sean Manaea. This is as fire sale could be with the Oakland Athletics. Like this is totally punting the season with this lineup that they're throwing out.
If you're a pitcher, are you scared of facing that lineup? I don't think so.
No. This is honestly, to me, and I don't mean to disrespect these guys, but this looks like a AAA line.
Oh, no. Oh, come on. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's
a good
not.
AAA team. Like a Durham Bulls AAA team.
Tony Kemp, Elvis Andrus, Sean Murphy, Seth Brown. Like that's Christian Pache is an up-and-coming prospect that people have forgotten about.
Prospect. Yeah, they can't hit yet.
Well, I don't know. He's hitting 300. I know it's 3.
This is okay. This is replacement level.
I think it's a very different Oakland A's team that we've seen.
This is the most blah lineup maybe in baseball.
It's very beige.
Yeah, more beige than the Orioles.
See, now that is a take I can get behind in, even with the hyperbole. I think the Orioles have a better 1 through 5 in their lineup than the A's have in the 1 through 5. So if you put those two things together, the pitching is not there. The lineup isn't there.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about the first 2 games. Again, Montas and Irvin are going to be a little bit more difficult, but we'll see. But the first 2 games should be Rays W's.
Okay, if the Rays don't win the series, again, trade Kevin Kiermaier. Like that's what it comes down to for me, quite frankly.
My God.
No, but it's just, quite frankly, it's fun to have baseball back. Even though it is the Athletics, which have, in the past given the Rays a tough fight, especially when the Rays do go over to Oakland. Of course, this series is at the Trop. Maybe the Athletics give a little spunk. They are a little bit different dynamic. Maybe they've got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder and they play a little bit tougher, but this isn't the most, it's not quite starting the year with the Blue Jays and the Red Sox, if you will. It's kind of like, okay, so we got Seth Brown's your cleanup hitter. All right, that's what we're rolling with. Cool.
This ain't our daddy's Oakland A's nor our Oakland A's.
No.
This is something
This isn't the
new.
2021 Oakland A's.
This is something new. And again, like we said, get the W's early when you can. I know that's no rocket science. It's actually more of a cliche than anything, but do it. You have to. I mean, what are you gonna do? Get it. Wait until September to fight against a really tough back-to-back series. It's going to get tough in September. So right now, you're facing the Orioles. You did what you needed to do. Now, if you take 3 out of 4 of Oakland A's, you've done your job.
Will the Athletics win 70 games this season?
I don't know.
Will they win more games than the Orioles this season?
Yes.
I agree because of the division.
Yes.
And
then stop, because we have a friend from Locked On A's who's having a rough year.
Sorry, Jason Burke.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. Be better. What can I say? Be better. The Rays certainly are. All right. That'll do it for this episode of the Locked On Rays podcast. Thank you for listening. Now make sure your second listen is the Locked On MLB podcast. That is also free and available on all platforms. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will talk to you tomorrow.